Hold it right there, human. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. A human with the ability to speak? Impossible. Well, duh. We were the first species that even learnt to talk. The question is, how did you learn to talk? That's a bit of a long story. So long it would probably take like 9 movies to explain. Planet of the Apes. Directed by Franklin J. Scaffinger and is the original and very first installment of the nearly 50-year running Planet of the Apes franchise. Had they released War for the Planet of the Apes next year, they would have released it on the 50th anniversary, but 49th is close enough. So Planet of the Apes, the original, the 1968 version, tells the story of a astronaut and his 2 fellow astronauts. They go on a mission into space. Their ship crash lands on a very mysterious planet that turns out to be ruled by apes, where humans are second-class citizens, and the apes basically set up a government. They rule the earth, whereas the humans are treated like animals. It's the opposite of our planet. The tables have turned. But when they discover that Taylor can talk, they're shocked and intrigued and are determined to study him. He befriends two scientist apes, Dr. Zira and Cornelius, and a human girl named Nova, who help him escape, get back to his ship, and discover the truth of how the Planet of the Apes came to be. Planet of the Apes, the 1968 original movie. Who doesn't love it? It's a classic. It's a groundbreaking, thought-provoking sci-fi movie. With the release of the presumably final chapter in the Planet of the Apes franchise, War for the Planet of the Apes, released a month ago, I decided to go back and review all 9 of these movies. I was originally planning to review the first 9 sooner, but my holiday did kind of delay these reviews, but that's okay, better late than never. So I shall be starting off with this one and working my way up to Dawn of all the ones I haven't reviewed yet, and will eventually be ranking them too. When I first saw it as a kid on TV, it really struck a chord with me ever since. The story and the whole idea behind this movie is absolute genius. Like my mum said, it's incredibly thought-provoking. Imagine one day another species basically overthrows the human race and replaces humans as the dominant species of Earth. I mean, that is a fact. We are just another species on Earth in the animal kingdom. We're not above, we're not superior, so it could happen. This is actually, an event that could happen in the future. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, that if another race does take over, as the movie suggests, because that's a natural thing that happens when one species goes extinct. After they've had their prime, another species comes and takes over. In this case, apes replace humans. It touches on ambitious themes of equality. It never says humans are good or apes are evil. Far from it. It's actually addresses that we're all the same. You get some good humans, some bad humans, some good apes, some bad apes. So be prepared, guys, in the far future when the Apepocalypse happens, when they treat us like their pets. We'll see what it's like to step into the shoes of animals, and Charlton Heston was made for this role. He was one of the most classic actors of his time, and I just love the character of Taylor as our main character. He's very sympathetic, brave, and clever. You know, he feels like a great leader and hero. I mean, he is having to accept that the planet that he once knew and loved, his home, is gone. and just he when he loses his voice, when he accidentally hurts his throat. So that leads to some very interesting, extremely well written scenes where Dr. Zira and Cornelius are studying his every move and are astonished and fascinated when he can actually understand them and speak their language. It's like us discovering a new species with our abilities, only from their perspective. It's so original and awesome. And Linda Harris is, not only is she super hot, but Nova is such a awesome love interest for Taylor. They both belong together. They're both in the same situation. I'm so glad they introduced her as a child in War for the Planet of the Apes, played by Amir Miller, who was also great in the role, but Linda Harris is just as great. So Nova's the ideal love interest for Taylor, and you just feel so sorry for her after seeing how she helped the apes in War for the Planet of the Apes, and she proved she was on their side. Not all humans are bad. So when the government apes take over, they don't care. They assume all humans are bad and just put her in the cage with the others and treat her like shit. It's horrible. So when Taylor actually helps her out as well, and they both work together with Dr. Zira and Cornelius. It's a genuinely touching friendship between the four characters to prove that there can be peace between these species, regardless of what the ruling powers may say. And I'm so happy that they address why Nova can't speak in War for the Planet of the Apes and why all the humans can't talk, because they caught the virus known as the simulant flu. That was one nitpick I originally had for this movie, the lack of explanation of how the Planet of the Apes came to be, but the rebooted trilogy completely fixed that nitpick, so I don't have that flaw with this movie anymore. Dr. Zira and Cornelius are great too, as they both prove that some of the apes actually want to live with the humans and want to learn more about them and befriend them, not just lock them all up. And the movie is beautifully shot. So wow, do I need to say how stunning and astonishing the cinematography is, and I love how the movie was set on and shot on real location on a real island, and the prosthetics and makeup for all of the apes are fucking marvellous. You didn't need to do them with CGI. This is pure cutting edge filmmaking. It's outstanding, and Jerry Goldsmith delivers a wonderful soundtrack for this movie. It's certainly one of the best composed movies of all nine, and not to mention it has some of the most iconic and memorable quotes and moments in cinematic history, especially the famous line when Taylor at last gets his voice back, and this moment, no joke, certainly made me go silent in awe when he says the famous line, "Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape." Oh my god, I'm speechless. That moment is just truly great cinema. Oh my god, how did they pull that off? Whoever wrote that in the script should be very proud, because that was such a big surprise. I think that's one of the moments in movie history where the audience gasped harder than most. That is the awesome thing about this movie's script. It's legitimately unpredictable and full of surprises. You really are engaged throughout, and another thrilling moment is when the apes arrive on horseback in a hunt, and they capture all the humans out on the plains, Taylor included. And as for the villains, the orangutan-like ape and the government apes, I mean, you understand why they don't trust humans anymore after seeing War for the Planet of the Apes, after what humans did to them. I mean, almost wiping them out to extinction. Who can blame them? And that ending, that tremendous cliffhanger is excellently thought out. Nobody saw this coming either, that the Planet of the Apes is actually not a different planet as we were originally led to believe, along with Taylor, but post-apocalyptic Earth that was destroyed by war, when we see the Statue of Liberty on the beach and Taylor just breaks down and he's like, "You maniacs, you burned it up, darn you all to hell." It's brilliant, iconic moment of cinema. I'd say that's one of the greatest movie endings of all time. So, Planet of the Apes, it is indeed a fantastic start to one of cinema's greatest, most thought-provoking movie sagas, and a masterpiece in its own right. It certainly towers above its four sequels in the original 5 movies. I'm not sure it necessarily needed 4 sequels, but that's a debate for another day. It's above and beyond better than the Tim Burton one, or whatever that thing was, though it doesn't quite top the rebooted Planet of the Apes trilogy. Those 3 are my personal favourite Apes movies, but as for this one, I don't even have any nitpicks with it. Like I said, that nitpick was solved by making the prequel rebooted trilogy, and you'd have to pick this classic apart to find any flaws in it, and it's certainly one of my favourites in the series. I give Planet of the Apes 1968 5 stars out of 5. And it's had a terrific effect on pop culture. Its 50th anniversary next year will be a big celebration, I can guarantee you. Well, I love you guys, thank you for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and what do you think of the original 1968 Planet of the Apes? Please comment, let me know, please like this video and subscribe, please follow on Twitter and on Google+, and I'll see you all next time, and stay tuned for my review of Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Is that sequel as good as the first one? Well, we'll find out. I'll see you then, bye guys.